Mason Beck will stand in, fresh off a 4-hit ball game a night ago. Keeping him close there at second. Now the pitch. And that's cut on and missed 0-1.
And for as bad as he missed that pitch, you can bet we're going to see that again before this at-bat's over.
Now here's the ball hit sharply toward the right side. And that's in there. Base hit. And the runner at third will put the brakes on here as they didn't want to chance it even with 2 outs.
When you talk about players here in Double-A with good bat speed, take a look at this swing. That'll get your attention.
Phil Gosselin will come forward now, back in the lineup after being used as a pinch hitter last night. Mason Beck will stand in now to get us going here in the 4th.
Mason Beck.
Couldn't help himself that time as he chases one below the knees. It's strike 1.
Boy, when he's got that thing going good, it just takes a nosedive right at the end.
And a hanger as he gives this one a pretty good ride out to deep center. And the 4th inning has begun with a home run. So a solo shot here to left center field. As they get on the board first, it's 1-0.
Well, there are curveballs that have some pretty good bite to them, and then there's some hangers. And this, folks, well, this is a hanger. Well, you can see his eyes light up on that one. That's a mistake pitch if I've ever seen one.
Third baseman, number 5.
Mason Beck will stand in. 2 hits in 2 trips thus far. Now this ball's hit back up the middle, and he's got himself another base hit, his 3rd of the afternoon.
Boy, these fans will be happy to see this guy leave town, that's for sure. He has absolutely eaten him up here in this series. He delivers again.
Phil Gosselin will stand in here. 0 for 2 with a run scored so far. Chris Manuel will stand in now. A punch-out victim twice already. EK, I'll ask you because you're the one sitting next to me. Do you approach an at-bat differently when you have 2 strikeouts under your belt this early in the game?
Well, you do in the sense that whatever you did the first 2 times, it wasn't working. But I think if you start worrying too much about trying to avoid the hat trick, or worse, it'll start becoming a mind game, and you'll start falling into some pretty bad habits.
Mason Beck will dig in. He homered back in the 4th.
Third baseman.
Now the first pitch.
Beck.
And he swings through a fastball and doesn't catch up with it. It's 0-1.
Not a real good effort there.
Now, it's one thing if it's a slider running away or something like that, but that pitch right there was never going to be a strike.
And this is going to be his 4th hit of the game, as this should wind up as extra bases. And he'll pull into second with his 4th hit of the ball game.
And if you're going to work away with a 2-seam fastball, which I don't think is the best pitch anyway, you better start that thing out of the zone and let it work its way back to the corner. Here, as you can see, he starts it on the corner, so you know what's going to happen. It's going to leak right back out over the heart of the plate. And that's a mistaken location, pure and simple.
Phil Gosselin will stand in now in what could be a real make-or-break situation.
And you think at this point you have to get something out of this inning. The further you get into that bullpen, the tougher it's going to be to claw back from this deficit.
Ricky Plummer will try again. 0 for 3 thus far. Out in front of a curveball here as this is bounced on the ground to third. And 8 innings have come and gone now as the... Mason Beck will dig in. He homered back in the 4th.
Mason Beck.
And he had to be looking for something else to start the at-bat. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he really pulled off of that one, and that's not the kind of swing we're accustomed to seeing from a guy like him.
Right, especially starting off an at-bat.
And that's through into left, and back-to-back singles have him in business to start the 9th. And the runner will hold at second, so 2 on with nobody out.
We got some life here now in the ninth inning. First and second now, and hey, one more base runner. You're going to bring the tying run to the plate. And we've seen stranger things happen.
Alex Suter will come on now in an awfully tough spot as there are 2 on here with nobody out. Phil Gosselin will stand in now, and hey, give these guys credit. They're not going down without a fight.
I'll tell you what, they're not too far away from making a game out of this one after all.
Chris Manuel will dig in now, and he'll do so representing the tying run.
Yeah, and you're not too worried about this guy jumping the yard on you here and tying the ball game. But if he does find a way to get on base, things get a whole lot more interesting.
A handful of fine individual performances to choose from in this one, boys, but what do you say we go ahead and let this man take home the hardware? He's our tops player of the game.
Well, he winds up with 3/4 of the cycle. Couldn't quite squeeze in the triple, but that's all right. He definitely did enough to earn himself the hardware.